Tonight, a Target 12 investigators exclusive. We're taking an in-depth look at the Justin Nunes law designed to crack down on street racing. Nunes died in a tragic crash that claimed the lives of 2 people back in 2003.
That's your child. You know, your child is not supposed to leave you. You know, that's not supposed to happen.
The law has been on the books for 10 years now. A Target 12 review finds the majority of those charged see their charges dismissed or dropped as part of a plea deal. Target 12 investigator Tim White is here now with the details.
The promise of the street racing law was to give prosecutors the tools they need in the courtroom, which they now have. But the data shows not a single person has faced any prison time after being charged with the Justin Nunes law. Behind the state police headquarters in Scituate sits a fenced-off parking lot, littered with dozens of cars, many mangled beyond recognition, each one being held as evidence.
We call it the boneyard.
State Police Sergeant Jeffrey LaRue runs the agency's collision reconstruction unit.
If you look around at the vehicles in here, you can see that there are some horrific crashes, and we're holding these cars for criminal cases.
This, a mutilated Subaru from a race down Route 99, ending with 1 dead in 2014. This Audi from a fiery crash in Johnston in January. The street race ended with the car slamming into this Honda SUV, which struck a gas pump and burst into flames. 2 passengers in the Audi were killed.
This is from the parked Honda that was in the gas station, and you can actually see the Honda emblem was right there from this front of the car.
Look at that. The 2 drivers in Johnston are now facing multiple charges, including street racing. In the wake of that crash, Target 12 decided to examine how many people have been charged under the Justin Nunes law. Here's what we found. 54 people were charged with street racing since the law went on the books in 2007. Court records show 31 of those charges were dismissed or the charge was amended as part of a plea deal. 16 people pleaded no contest to the charges. 7 cases have no records, which the courts say likely means were expunged. But the data shows no one has ever served any prison time under the Justin Nunes law.
Pleading out, I can't plead with God to get him back. How do they get to plead out to a judge? You did what you did.
Lori Nunes fought to get the street racing law, named after her son, on the books. She now lives in North Carolina.
If you're just slapping people on the wrist and letting them go, it's not a deterrent.
April 19th marked the 14th anniversary of her son's death. Justin was 17 years old and a passenger in one of the cars racing down Route 136 when it lost control and crashed into a tree in Bristol.
I called Bristol police and I said, can you tell me what happened on Medicum Avenue with Justin Nunes? They asked me if I was alone, and I said I was. And I just hung up the phone. And that was it.
As it turns out, that 2003 case was the first street racing crash Sergeant LaRue ever investigated. And he says the law that arose from the tragedy has been a valuable tool.
The way the statute's written, you do not need a starting line, a finish line, and someone waving a flag. All it takes, it's a course of conduct of driving erratically at a high rate of speed with another vehicle through traffic.
Looking at the numbers Target 12 collected, Lori says she's heartened that the data shows police are out there doing their job and charging people with the crime, but...
I mean, in Rhode Island, it's just, we need to get tougher. We need to get tougher, and we need to stop being so lenient in that courtroom.
Sergeant LaRue tells me we are coming up on a traditionally busy time for street racing. As you can imagine, the summer months are where young people hit the road with the intent to race. With the Target 12 investigators, Tim White, Eyewitness News.
New details now in a Target 12 investigators exclusive. The head of the state police unit that investigates illegal street racing tells us they're using videos and images posted to social media more and more as part of their investigations.
And as we reveal live at 5 tonight, a law designed to crack down on street racing has yet to put anyone behind bars since it was passed 10 years ago. Target 12 investigator Tim White is here now with the exclusive details.
Facebook Live, Instagram Stories, Snapchat, we all have the ability to broadcast what we're doing from the palm of our hand. And with street racing, police have taken notice. July 2014, a street race ends tragically on Route 99 in Lincoln. The passenger of this Subaru killed. The driver is still so injured, the charge against him remains pending today.
It was a group of kids that all decided to go up on the highway and go fast.
State Police Sergeant Jeffrey LaRue runs the State Police Collision Reconstruction Unit. He says the passenger was doing something they are seeing more and more often.
This was what they call the follow car. They were videotaping the first two cars to see and declare who was the winner of that race.
That video was used as part of their investigation. Ultimately, 4 others who took part in the race were charged with street racing. 3 were charged with reckless driving.
And then the kid's kind of like a badge of honor. You want to see how fast I'm going? Here's a picture of my speedometer.
Investigators are using videos like this posted online. The driver of this car was convicted of street racing. It's hard to see, but the speedometer shows the car going upwards of 125 miles per hour on a Rhode Island highway.
We've done some Facebook shots of some crashes where you can see their speedometers, still shots, videos of them driving at excessive speeds.
A Target 12 analysis of the street racing law, now in its 10th year, finds most cases were dismissed or amended as part of a plea deal. 16 of 54 people charged with the Justin Nunes law pleaded no contest, but no one has ever faced prison time for the Justin Nunes law.
I mean, it's a thought about act. It's not an accident. These aren't accidents. These are crashes as a result of their negligent behavior.
Lori Nunes is the mother of Justin Nunes. The 17-year-old was a passenger in a car that was taking part in a street race. The vehicle lost control on Route 136 in Bristol. She now lives in North Carolina.
Law enforcement is doing what they're supposed to be doing. They are out there. They're cracking down. You know, they're charging these people. Judges are letting people plead out. You know, they're pleading out. They're not giving them the full sentence that they deserve.
Sergeant LaRue identified 4 state highways that tend to be hotspots for street racing. They are the upper end of 295, as well as routes 37, 99, and 403, all of which have sections of remote straightaways. With the Target 12 investigators, Tim White, Eyewitness News.